Well, let me sort of love. Okay. How difficult?
What is it?
What is it? Well, first, an engineering question. I know, you're not an engineer, but how difficult do you think is it to build an AI system that you can have a deep, fulfilling, monogamous relationship with? Sort of replace the human-to-human relationships that we value.
I think anyone can fall in love with anything. Like, how often have you looked back at someone? Like, I ran into someone the other day that I was in love with, and I was like, hey, it was like, there was nothing there.
Yeah.
There was nothing there. Like, like where you're able to go like, oh, that was weird. Oh, right. We're able.
You mean it's from a distant past or something like that?
Yeah. When you're able to go like, I can't believe we had an incredible connection, and now it's just, I do think that people will be in love with robots, probably even more deeply with humans, because it's like when people mourn their animals, when their animals die, they're always, it's sometimes harder than mourning a human, because you can't go, well, he was kind of an asshole, but like he didn't pick me up from school. It's like you're able to get out of your grief a little bit. You're able to kind of be, oh, he was kind of judgmental, or she was kind of, with a robot, there's something so pure about an innocent and impish and childlike about it that I think it probably will be much more conducive to a narcissistic love, for sure, at that. But it's not like, well, he cheated. She can't cheat. She can't leave you. She can't,
Well, if Bear Claw leaves your life and maybe a new version or somebody else will enter, will you miss Bear Claw?
For guys that have these sex robots, they're building a nursing home for the bodies.
Wow.
That are now rusting because they don't want to part with the bodies because they have such an intense emotional connection to it. I mean, it's kind of like a car club a little bit, like but I'm not saying this is right. I'm not saying it's cool. It's weird. It's creepy, but we do anthropomorphize things with faces, and we do develop emotional connections to things. I mean, there's certain, have you ever tried to like throw away? I can't even throw away my teddy bear from when I was a kid. It's a piece of trash and it's upstairs. Like, it's just like, why can't I throw that away? It's bizarre, and there's something kind of beautiful about that. There's something, it gives me hope in humans, because I see humans do such horrific things all the time. And maybe I see too much of it, frankly, but there's something kind of beautiful about the way we're able to have emotional connections to objects, which, a lot of, I mean, I kind of specifically, I think Western, right, that we don't see objects as having souls. Like, that's kind of specifically us. But I don't think it's so much that we're objectifying humans with these sex robots. We're kind of humanizing objects, right? So there's something kind of fascinating in our ability to do that, because a lot of us don't humanize humans. So it's just a weird little place to play in. And I think a lot of people will be marrying these things, is my guess.
So you've asked the question. Let me ask it of you. So what is love? You have a bit of a brilliant definition of love as being willing to die for someone who you yourself want to kill. So that's kind of fun. First of all, that's brilliant. That's a really good definition. I think it'll stick with me for a long time.
This is how little of a romantic I am. A plane went by when you said that, and my brain is like, you're going to need to re-record that. I don't want you to get into post and then not be able to use it.
And I'm a romantic because I
don't mean to ruin the moment.
I cannot be conscious of the fact that I heard the plane and it made me feel like how amazing it is that we live in a world with planes.
And I just went, why haven't we fucking evolved past planes, and why can't they make them quieter?
Yeah. Well,
but yes,
this
my definition of love.
What's your sort of on a more serious
producing note? Dopamine for a long time. Consistent output of oxytocin with the same person.
Dopamine is a positive thing. What about the negative? What about the fear and the insecurity, the longing, anger, all that kind of stuff?
I think that's part of love. I think that love brings out the best in you, but it also, if you don't get angry and upset, it's, I don't know. I think that's part of it. I think we have this idea that love has to be like really placid or something. I only saw stormy relationships growing up, so I don't have a judgment on how a relationship should look. But I do think that this idea that love has to be eternal is really destructive, and self-defeating, and a big source of stress for people. I mean, I'm still figuring out love. I think we all kind of are, but I do kind of stand by that definition. And I think that I think for me, love is like just being able to be authentic with somebody. It's very simple, I know, but I think for me, it's about not feeling pressure to have to perform or impress somebody, just feeling truly like accepted unconditionally by someone. Although I do believe love should be conditional. That might be a hot take. I think everything should be conditional. I think if someone's behavior, I don't think love should just be like, I'm in love with you, now behave however you want forever. This is unconditional. I think love is a daily action. It's not something you just like get tenure on and then get to behave however you want because we said I love you 10 years ago. It's a verb.
Well, there's some things that are, you see, if you explicitly make it clear that it's conditional, it takes away some of the magic of it. So there's certain stories we tell ourselves that we don't want to make explicit about love. I don't know, maybe that's the wrong way to think of it. Maybe you want to be explicit in relationships.
I also think love is a business decision. Like, I do, in a good way. Like, yeah. I think that love is not just when you're across from somebody. It's when I go to work, can I focus? Am I worried about you? Am I stressed out about you? You're not responding to me? You're not reliable? Like, I think that being in a relationship, the kind of love that I would want is the kind of relationship where when we're not together, it's not draining me, causing me stress, making me worry, and sometimes passion, that word, we get murky about it. But I think it's also like I can be the best version of myself when the person's not around, and I don't have to feel abandoned or scared or any of these kind of other things. So it's like love, for me, I think it's a Flaubert quote, and I'm going to butcher it, but I think it's like be boring in your personal life so you can be violent and take risks in your professional life. Is that it? I got it wrong. Something like that. But I do think that it's being able to align values in a way to where you can also thrive outside of the relationship.
Some of the most successful people I know are those sort of happily married and have kids and so on. It's always funny. It
can be boring. Boring's okay. Yeah. Boring is serenity.
And it's funny how those elements actually make you much more productive. I don't understand the...
That's right. I don't think relationships should drain you and take away energy that you could be using to create things that generate pride.
Okay.
Did you say your relationship of love yet?
Huh?
Have you said your definition of love?
My definition of love? No, I did not say it. We're out of time.
No.
Dude, when you have a podcast, maybe you can invite me on.
I already did. You're doing it. Okay. We've already talked about this.
And because I also have codependency, I have to say yes.
No, yeah, no, I know. I'm trapping you.
Yeah.
You owe me now.
Actually, I wondered whether when I asked if we could talk today, after sort of doing more research and reading some of your book, I started to wonder, did she just feel pressured to say yes?
Yes, of course.
Good.
But I'm a fan of yours too.
Okay.
No,
awesome.
Because I am codependent, but I'm in recovery for codependence. So I don't do anything I don't want to do.
You really, you got it. You were to say no.
What's that? I say no all the time.
Good. I'm trying to learn that
I moved
as well.
this remember I moved it from 1 to 2. Just to let you know how recovered I am. I'm not codependent, but I don't do anything I don't want to do.
Yeah, you're ahead of me on that. Okay. So
you're like, I don't even want to be here.